Hi, my name is Anna Rhodes, and I am the author of Living Without a Map blog. Today we're going to be talking about how to make sauerkraut in mason jars. So what you'll need is some mason jars. You will need some cabbage, preferably red onions, although you can go with any kind you want. You'll want either Himalayan salt or Celtic salt or one of the other real salts. You want all organic with this because it works better. You'll want some mixing bowls, knife obviously. You don't have to have these, but I like to use a little cumin seed and a little caraway in some of my sauerkraut, although I do prefer it by itself. You will need mason jars obviously. Preferably you'll want plastic lids. I don't have any of those, so I use regular old lids with plastic wrap. That way that they don't rust, because if you use just the lids themselves, the salt mixture and the brine will cause them to rust over time. You'll also need, if I can get it, something to push down the cabbage with. So I use a spatula because it's easiest, but you'll want something wooden, something right around this size, maybe a little bit bigger, that'll fit easily into your mason jars as you are pushing down the cabbage. So let's get started. I've already gone ahead and chopped up some onions. So next what you'll want to do is you'll want to take the top layers off of your cabbage. Now this really waxy layer is actually really good for pushing down your cabbage at the end. So you'll actually want to have that as well. Go ahead and keep that safe somewhere. Then you'll want to begin slicing your cabbage. On this one there was only one little waxy piece, so that's all we're going to use with that. Probably want a sharper knife than the one that I have, and preferably a camera that doesn't wobble quite so much. Then you want to take a look at your cabbage. Best way to cut it is to cut it just like this, because that way it falls off easily. Now it doesn't have to be pretty, it's just going in a jar after all. You're pressing it down as it is, so I'm going to get them right around that thinness. And then you're going to put them in your bowl. Now I'm not going to put all of this in this bowl because then the video would be way too long. But what you're going to do next is you're going to put some salt in it. And you want to use roughly about 2 tablespoons worth of salt per cabbage head when they're this small. When they're a little bit bigger, like this red cabbage that I'm going to use later, you'll probably want about 4 to 6 tablespoons of sea salt or Himalayan salt. So you'll get a nice layer there, and then I already have some over here. You'll take a plate, put it on top, shake it up to mix the salt, the cabbage, and your onions. Then you can go ahead and put things in the mason jar, or you can be smart about it and you can wait. Length of time anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours will actually make it a whole lot easier when you're stuffing it into the mason jars. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of my way here. Take this off. See, I saved these top layers as well. So there's some red onions down here. I tried to shake it all up, but you know that doesn't always work as well as you would hope it would. And go ahead and move this out of my way. Just going to put it right there. So then, it's actually kind of helpful, and I forgot it over there. This is another good type of jar because see, you don't have to worry about any metal on the inside. It's also my favorite jar to use for sauerkraut. You'll actually want some tongs. Now you can do it with your hands. It's just a little bit easier to get it in here. So what you'll want to do, just put a little bit in there so that stuffing it's a little bit easier. And I'm actually, I think I'm going to show you in a smaller jar just so that you can see how it'll look when it's completely full. Okay? So we're going to put it, see if I can get some onion in here too. Yeah, there we go. Might come back up at you. It's okay. Now again, you can add the cumin seed, whichever it is, and the caraway. Again, I like it, you know, just natural, the onions and the cabbage. But I do like a little bit of that from time to time as well. So what you're going to do, I'm going to actually put this a little closer so that you can see it a little bit better, is you're going to just press it. And you hear how crunchy it is right now that I'm letting it sit. Really brought the water out a little bit better. I'll actually show you. You want to press it until you can see the brine rising above. I don't know how well you can see that. My camera's not the best. Work on that. But see, that was really fairly easy because I let it sit. So you're going to do that a little bit more. Definitely helps to have more people working on sauerkraut day. I actually have 5 cabbage heads and 3 of the red onions, so it's going to take me a while to get done with this tonight. You're going to go ahead and keep pressing. Probably one more will do it for this little jar. This will also probably be the first one ready. When you seal your jars, they actually seal pretty well on their own. The gases and the fermentation process actually will suck in the lid, so you don't have to worry about it going bad or anything. Now it does help just to twist the cap open a little bit every day, at least for the first few days, so that way you don't have to worry about the jars bursting, because that can happen. And I'm going to put half more in there. There we go. Right about here, or where it's going to be once I press it down, is where you want it. Again, make sure that the brine, which is the sea salt or the Himalayan salt or whatever, and the juice from the cabbage is above the cabbage. That's where these guys come in handy. Since this is a smaller jar, I don't need the entire thing, so I'm just going to tear it a little bit. I'm going to fold it. Now, it won't kill the lids to let, my hands are going to smell fun now. It won't kill the lids 1 or 2 times to be used. You just want to be careful because you don't want to lose lids because you weren't paying attention to the rusting process. I'm actually going to cut this a little bit smaller because you don't need a whole lot. Just enough to cover that space. Put it right on top there. And if I can find the right lid for this particular jar. This one will probably do it. Go ahead and put that on there. And then I'm going to put it in the cupboard for about 2 weeks. Now, you can try to taste it along the process, see which way you like it better. But normally when it stops fizzing, it's done. Sometimes it won't stop fizzing, but you'll want to go ahead and eat it just because you like the flavor. So that whole thing is up to you. But you at least want to wait a week before trying it. The 2 weeks is normally right where I like it. Now, it's not going to taste exactly like store sauerkraut, which, by the way, really isn't that great for you. But this will give you lots of probiotics, a lot better for you than the hundreds of dollars worth of probiotics that you can spend in a fancy, Whole Food store, somewhere like that, and they'll be better for you. So that's basically the gist of how you do it. Really simple, really easy. It'll just take a few hours of your time if you want to do a whole lot at once. But for me, I've gotten really used to eating the sauerkraut with every meal. It's really good, and I crave it all the time now. So I've been out for a few weeks, and it's time to get some more in. Hope you guys are having a great day. Happy helping.